We're going to go over questions 270 to 279. Make sure you guys take a moment and go ahead and highlight, circle your answers. And we'll start off with the first one at 270. Okay, so for 270, it says the graph of the function. Wait, did we go over this one? Am I crazy or did we go over this one? Do I have the wrong one? No, it's week 17 Tuesday. No, that's correct. All right, that's okay. We'll just go over it again. So if you, it's totally fine. I was like, maybe we didn't, but I feel like some of these questions just repeating, and I'm like, it's maybe I'm just making it up.
From the, because I started using untagged.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. This is good. This is good. I was like, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going over something that like I copied the wrong questions from the wrong day or something, and like, you know, waste 5 questions and go, wait a minute, this was like questions from last week, you know. Yeah, so I just had to check myself. So if you take a look at this, you guys, you have a -3 and a 2, and well, duh, which one do you think it is? I mean, this is like a no-brainer. Hey, how are you doing? And this is your answer for this question right here. All right, 271. Go ahead and highlight the important questions here. All right, which quadratic function? So keyword is quadratic. Quadratic just means it's an x square, has one real solution. So it just means it has one answer. Okay, that's what it means. If I take a look at A, if I were to solve this, x equals -7, x equals +5. This right here has 2 answers. It's not A because I only want 1 answer. If I take a look at C, x equals 2, x equals -2. Again, 2 answers. I just want 1 answer. D is the same thing. 2 and 1. Those are 2 answers. I just want 1 answer. So why is B as in boy the correct answer? Because it's x equals 3, x equals 3. They are the same 1 answer. So B as in boy is the only one that works. And with this one, it's not difficult. It's just find the one that gives you 1 answer, and that's it. Oh, I have heard about the one in Markleyville. I did hear about this one. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a gorgeous, gorgeous setting because it's right next to a state park.
Yeah.
Camping and stuff. So it's beautiful mountain. There's like a waterfall nearby. It's just gorgeous. It's a beautiful drive, that whole area of Markleyville, but it got toasted in the fires. So I have no idea what it looks like now. But it was just beautiful.
Yes.
The whole valley is what it's called, just past it, and that is maybe the most beautiful part of it.
Nice.
I've never seen it.
I'm gonna send you the link. I'm totally recording this on this, but I don't care. I'm like, they'll see the answers. All right, guys, 272. I don't care. I'm like promoting David Wally's research while I'm doing this.
Let me make it quick announcement while you're doing that. You guys, Friday is the last day. I'm sorry. Yeah, Friday is the last day to come and do any makeup work after school. I'm going to come in and I'm going to throw you all the papers, okay? So if you have any papers that you want to do the makeup work for or whatnot, you need to come in and see Miss. I'll have our time today, okay?
Yeah, make sure you guys come see me after school because your paper is going to get chucked. Yeah. Okay, if it's not handwritten. All right, so the product of a binomial. Keyword product, it means times. Binomial just means 2 terms. Okay, so these are the 2. Here's the first one. Oh, wait, hold on. And a trinomial. Okay, so hold on a second. Trinomial means 3 terms. Okay, so this is your answer. That's your answer. Once you take the 2 terms times a 3 terms, and it equals that thing right there. Which expression is equivalent to this product after it has been fully simplified? So what that means is that we want to reduce this. Okay, so you have x cubed plus 3x squared minus x. Okay, that's your first one, right? And if you're like, what do you mean the first one? I mean, this is the first part. These are the first 3 numbers, right? But then you're gonna look at the last 3 numbers right there, where it's plus 2x squared. So I'm gonna line it up, plus 2x squared plus 6x minus 2, like that. And then I want you to add them. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so if you look at this right here, once you add it, you should have x cubed. 2 and 3 is 5. 1 plus 6, negative 1 plus 6 is a 5. And then you just put down the 2. And so which one doesn't match? A as an apple. That's the only one, you guys. All right, you guys, 273. Go ahead and read the question about chin and then highlight the important information there. So I just sent you an email of David Wally. It has like similar backdrop and it's beautiful. Like if there's ever a place in Nevada that I cannot live in Reno, I would never want to go live in Las Vegas, but I would probably live in Genoa or Gardnerville. You know, that's the only other place I feel like is worthwhile, or Incline Village, you know. Yeah. All right, so Chen made an error on his chart. So we need to go ahead and figure out where is the mistake. So let's take a look. X squared times 3x, 3x cubed. That's correct. 2y times 3x is 6 x y. This is the mistake. Are you laughing at that? I'm like, what are they doing? What is happening? And the thing is, like, they sometimes like blow leaves outside, and I'm like, you do know that my class is in session. Like, I understand your contract hour starts like this time too, but like China shuts down their construction during the testing I was telling you about, and then I deal with like leaf blowing machines and people going to the bathroom because the bathroom range is right there, and then this crap, and I'm like, okay, there's a reason why we're like in 25th in developed country when it comes to math performance. So if you look at this, you guys, B as in boy, the expression 6x should be 6xy. That was pretty easy. Boom. That was a mistake right there. If there's an x and a y, you got to include both x and y. But did you see the link I sent you? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's beautiful. You have like a super large pool there, and then they have like 6 or 7 mini pools around there. And then you see the backdrop of like Gardnerville and Genoa. And then they have like a beautiful restaurant there as well that's on the left side. Oh, I know. I know. Oh, okay. Huh. I'm gonna have to try that next time. All right, you guys, 274. Which graph of the function has an axis of symmetry? So I'm gonna box this number here, and you're gonna draw a picture like this. You're gonna go ahead and put a little dot right there, label it HK, and call it a vertex. Give you guys a few seconds to catch up. Make sure you call it a vertex. Okay, now your axis of symmetry is going to be this line that goes down here. So this right here is the axis of symmetry. And the x value is equal to the h value in that parenthesis. Okay, so it says, which one has an axis of symmetry at x equals 3? Well, let's take a look at A. With A, do you kind of see like that axis of symmetry is like -1/2? That's not it. Take a look at B. This axis of symmetry looks like it's at +1/2. That's not it. Let's take a look at D. D's axis of symmetry. Do you see how it's between a 2 and a 4? Yep. X equals 3. That's it. And if you were to draw this, you guys, your axis of symmetry would just go split this parabola in half. Like if you fold it over your hand, and it looks exactly the same. Okay, you guys, I'm going to give you guys maybe about 10 minutes to go ahead and take a break. And so this is your reflection for today. We're going to continue with the last 5 questions of 275. So let's take a look at that. So this question basically says, what is the additive inverse of this polynomial? Okay. So keyword here is additive. It means add. Inverse means opposite. So what is going to be the opposite of this? Opposite of a negative is a +9. Opposite of a +6 is a -6. Opposite of a -5 is a +5, x cubed. So which one does that match, you guys? And it's pretty simple overall if you look at it. You know, all you're doing is just changing the opposite of the positive and negative sign. And that's it. All right, 276. Go ahead and highlight the important information there, you guys. Okay, so what are the solutions to this quadratic equation? Now, if you're gonna go back to quadratic equation, okay, quadratic just means that it's x squared. So if I'm just solving for this, add the 25 on both sides of the equation. That part cancels. X squared equals 0 plus 25 is 25. And then we're gonna go ahead and square root this on both sides. So x equals plus and minus 5, because anytime you square root something, there's only 2 answers. One is a positive, the other one's a negative. So which one does that match? A, B, C, or D? $277. Go ahead and take your pencil and or your highlighter and go ahead and highlight the correct answers there. Go for it. Keyword here is true. What is true about the sum? Sum means plus of the 2 polynomial. Okay, so if I like take a look at this right here, keyword is sum, so maybe it's asking me to add it. So let's go ahead and add this. If I add this, 6 and 4 gives me a 10, s squared t. -2, -3 gives me a 5, st squared. Okay. Okay, so if you take a look at the answer here, the answer what's given you is sum of the degree. Okay, so if you look at this, what they're asking to do is take a look at the s's. I'm highlighting right there in yellow. So the s's has a s2, s1. Now take a look at the t's that I'm highlighting in blue. You have a t and a t squared. The degree is just going to be the exponent. 2 plus 1 is 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. So which one says it has a degree of 3? So it can't be A because this is a degree of 2. Can't be C because it has a degree of 2. So it can either be B or D. The difference there is that one is a binomial, the other is a trinomial. Binomial means 2 terms. Trinomial means 3 terms. Well, given the fact that if you look at your answer or your question where there is one term right here in yellow and another term right there, these are binomials. So it's not D, it has to be B as in boy. $278. Go ahead and highlight the important information. This question is very similar to the one that we just went over like 2 questions ago with like x squared minus 25. This looks very, very similar to that one. Okay, so looking at this part right here, if you just add the 16 on both sides, you guys, that part cancels. X squared equals 0 plus 16 is just 16. Okay, so then how do I get rid of the square? I'm going to square root both sides. So x equals plus or minus 4. So which one has a plus 4 and a minus 4? Okay, last question, 279, you guys. Which graphs represent a quadratic function with no real zeros? Okay, so there's a lot of words there. So quadratic function is just a parabola, and a parabola either is like a happy face or it could be a sad face like that, okay? And then from here, no real zeros. So what that means is it doesn't touch the x axis. And if you're like, I don't know where the x-axis is, that's the x-axis. It's the axis that goes left and right. Does that first graph touch the x-axis? Yes, it does, right there and at 3. So it's not A. Take a look at C. Here is your x-axis. Does your blue graph touch the x-axis? Yeah, right there at x equals -1.5. Here's your x-axis for B. Does your graph touch the x-axis? Nope, does not touch that. So guess what? B is your correct answer. And that's what it's asking you. All right, you guys, that's your 279 questions. And so next time when I see you guys, we'll go over 280 to 284.